I'm well aware of all the negative sentiment towards Xbox emulation, but for the sake of preservation, we need Xenia to succeed. Recompilation has promised a lot, but has sadly delivered only one unofficial PC port so far, and several static recompilation projects have gone silent. So 360 emulation has remained as relevant as ever. And in this video, I will demonstrate just how playable exclusives are on the emulator. Ace Combat made its reputation on the PlayStation, and yet one of the most sought-after games in the series was released exclusively for the Xbox 360. Fires of Liberation has several graphical bugs on the emulator, unfortunately. There's also a sound bug, where audio stops working during some cutscenes. It's technically playable, but would be preferable on real hardware. Chromehounds has the same dilemma. Visual anomalies aren't that bad, but they do serve to distract the player. Issues mostly involve the mech itself, although I noticed more minor bugs the longer I played. And in case you were wondering, switching to Vulkan didn't help either. In Project Gotham Racing 3, I couldn't lower the music volume, and it was very annoying. Plus, I couldn't hear my car's engine. So there's clearly some unresolved audio issues. To avoid copyright claims, I can't demonstrate the issue in this video, so just take my word for it. I had the same problem with music volume in Project Gotham Racing 4. But at least I could hear the engine sounds this time. And to be honest, both games are running really well on the emulator. It's just the sound that needs to be fixed. Saints Row kept freezing shortly after I started a new game. This happened repeatedly, despite the fact that I tried several fixes with its config file. It's disappointing because I know the game worked before when I still had my old Intel PC. It could be a compatibility issue or perhaps a regression of some kind, but I'm not sure. Blue Dragon worked alright for a few minutes, until my screen was suddenly filled with vertex explosions. After that, I couldn't progress, so I decided to try the Vulkan renderer. But all I got was a black screen. So this one is not playable. From short clips on YouTube I saw of Culdcept Saga, it seemed like an interesting experience. But unfortunately, it looks like this on Xenia. The graphics are completely broken, so we'll have to wait patiently before the game becomes playable on the emulator. Hopefully that will happen before the cows come home. I had to enable a few patches, but Crackdown seems to be running well, with very minor bugs here and there. My only gripe is the bloom, which seems a bit strong, but I played for almost an hour and experienced no crashes at all. Bear in mind that this game was very unstable a year ago, so this is already a massive improvement. Crackdown 2 has received the same improvements. It's very stable now, and small visual bugs that plagued the game before have been resolved. It's arguably better than the original, so it's good that we can finally play Crackdown 2 as it was meant to be played. Dead or Alive 4 looks absolutely gorgeous on the emulator. I also tried it at 1080p resolution, and it had zero issues when upscaled. Dead or Alive, Xtreme 2 is almost perfect, but it does have issues with shadows, and some textures are completely black for some reason. Far Cry Instinct's Predator is a disaster on Xenia. It's riddled with vertex explosions, and the water shader is completely broken. On top of that, the game will crash frequently, so forget about playing this on PC for the foreseeable future. Import Tuner Challenge was published by Ubisoft of all companies, yet feels like a spiritual successor to Tokyo Extreme Racer. The experience was mostly flawless on Xenia, although the game did hang once when I continued playing from a save file. Otherwise, there's not much to complain about. Magnacarta 2 has flickering cinematics, but also a very hilarious visual glitch, where the main protagonist is completely invisible during gameplay. It's disappointing, but what can you do? 99 Nights has vertex explosions everywhere. I could have sworn it worked fine before, but oh well. And since we're on the topic of vertex explosions, let's go over a few games that have this unfortunate affliction, starting with Otomedius Excellent. Ridge Racer 6 is another one, which is a real pity. I don't blame anyone if this flaming mess looks unfamiliar, but it's actually supposed to be Tenchu. Several games have bugs that completely break progression. One of these is Amped 3. Once you get past the initial tutorial section, the screen is covered by colorful lines, so there's no way to continue. Fable II keeps crashing at the same spot, and I don't know how to progress from here. At least I managed to last longer on my old Intel PC. Full Auto is a vehicular combat racing game, and while it runs okay, performance isn't quite where it needs to be. It also tended to crash between races, so it's not playable. Project Sylpheed became unresponsive after I started a new game. There was nothing but a black screen. In Race Pro, the game would hang when I entered a race. So unfortunately, it's not playable. Rumble Roses crashed almost as soon as I started a match. Alright, let's look at more games with visual bugs, starting with Perfect Dark Zero. It plays fine, but I did notice a weirdness with the graphics. Some objects seem to disappear as you move further away. I'm not sure if it's the game doing this, or if it's the emulator. Hydro Thunder Hurricane runs really well, although lights are still visible through geometry. I also noticed an issue with the sound, where it sometimes started to loop at the end of races. There is a patch for this audio problem, but unfortunately it doesn't fix it entirely. Banjo-Kazooie, Nuts and Bolts, has several graphical bugs on the emulator. And if this is your first time playing, the shader compilation will cause lots of spikes to the frame times. It's not a great experience at first. Racing fans are very interested in the Forza series, of course, and Forza 2 has been fully playable for a number of years, even at default settings. Forza Horizon runs without issue at 1080p, although you should disable motion blur in the patch files to avoid a minor graphical bug. Forza Horizon 2 is the same, but it did crash at least once. I still consider it playable though. Forza Motorsport 3 still has major graphical issues, most notably with shadows and road textures. I managed to get Forza Motorsport 4 in a fairly good state, but bear in mind that a lot of fixes are required and they are very laborious to apply. And even then, it was still unstable for me, crashing once every third race on average. In my honest opinion, it's just not worth installing yet. Now let's have a look at the Gears of War series, starting with the second game. Even during shader compilation, it runs mostly fine at a near constant 60 frames per second. With appropriate patches, I could raise the resolution to 1080p. Gears of War 3 is more demanding and you will drop frames when new areas are loading in. Upscaling this game supposedly comes with a caveat, since there's a patch to avoid bugs when running at higher than native resolution, but the patch completely disables post-processing, which really makes the graphics look ugly. So I decided to leave the patch off, despite running at 1080p, and even when I got really far into the game, there were no apparent issues. Gears of War Judgment is much like its predecessor, with some performance spikes in between stages. And the same warning about upscaling applies here as well. I didn't have any issues, but I didn't finish the game. So if you happen to run into graphical bugs, just lower the resolution back to default. There are more games that I consider fully playable, but for the sake of time, I'll just show you in a music montage. Hope you enjoy. Okay, that's it for this video. If you found it useful, how about a like? Thanks for watching and have a nice day.